Hey there, soulful energy seekers. Are you tired of dragging your tired body out of bed every morning, feeling like you're already behind on the day? Well, you're not alone. Did you know that over 60% of Americans suffer from low morning energy? But the cost of low energy isn't just feeling sluggish. It could be costing you productivity, happiness, and even years off your life. Now here's the thing. Most people are starting their day playing a metabolically dangerous game. They're either skipping breakfast or fueling up with something that barely resembles food, slowing them down and, believe it or not, risking all-cause mortality. Why? Because the right food is fuel as well as medicine, and digestion takes up to 30% of our precious energy. But fear not, we've got a game-changing solution for you based on functional medicine and Ayurvedic wisdom. Introducing the free Morning Energy Delicious Smoothie Guide by Love Energy Wellness. It's the proven strategy to kickstart your day, and you'll start feeling satisfied and energized in just days. Picture this. The famous Purple Crush, a blend of antioxidant-rich berries and energy-boosting greens, or the Sweet and Spicy, a tantalizing mix of metabolism-igniting spices. And for all of you coffee lovers out there, we've got a coffee smoothie that'll make your morning extra perky, all while getting the purest vitamins and minerals and protein that your body needs. Those are some of my favorites. Our guide has many, many more. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds difficult, but the best part is it's incredibly easy to implement. Trust me, I don't miss how I used to eat. I don't miss how tired I used to feel. And now, I don't miss a morning without my favorite all-natural energy breakfast. Say goodbye to morning fatigue and hello to revitalized you. Get your free Morning Energy Delicious Smoothie Guide today at loveenergywellness.com, or simply check the show notes for the link. Transform your mornings, transform your life, because you deserve to start every day with energy. Cheers to a vibrant, energized you. Now enjoy the program. Ladies and gentlemen, seekers of wellness, welcome to another riveting episode of Breaking Boundaries for Entrepreneurs, where we dive deep into unconventional topics that impact your life and your business. Today, we're tackling a pervasive issue that silently drains the vitality of many entrepreneurs: low energy attributed to thyroid dysfunction. But here's the kicker. It's not the thyroid itself that's the root problem. Oh no. Join us as we peel back the layers today and expose the often overlooked culprits that sabotage your energy levels. We'll unveil a groundbreaking perspective that challenges conventional wisdom and promises to revolutionize your understanding of thyroid health. Prepare to be enlightened as we unveil a safe, clinically backed solution that, believe it or not, your doctor probably wasn't taught in medical school. It's time to break free from the shackles of fatigue and step into a realm of boundless love, energy, and wellness. Stay tuned for the transformational insights that will redefine your entrepreneurial journey. Hello, I'm Jeffrey Mort. If you're like most entrepreneurs, you're busy taking care of business, yet who's taking care of you? If you're ready to take your energy and performance to the next level in your life and your business, then this podcast is for you. Because today, you're going to start breaking boundaries of your mind, body, and business with Integrative Health. And when you do that, your possibilities are limitless. I'm grateful you're here. Yes, always grateful for you joining me here today. Welcome to another Healthy Thursday episode of the Breaking Boundaries podcast for purpose-driven entrepreneurs like yourself. This is episode number 44. And of course, as always, stay till the end when we tie it all together on how to avoid failure and reach your next level of success with Integrative Health. And for all the show notes and links, visit jeffreymort.com and click on that podcast button. Today, my friends, you're going to discover the root cause of thyroid dysfunction, specifically low thyroid, also known as Hashimoto's. There's so many entrepreneurs that have this boundary of low energy and also memory issues and so much more that we're going to be breaking those boundaries today. So let's start off with what is a thyroid. I want to start off with the foundational here. And there's a lot of people that are not familiar with anatomy or biology. So what is a thyroid? It's a gland. Both men and women have it. It's approximately 2 inches 2 inches big. It's a butterfly shaped gland in the front of the throat surrounding the trachea, which is your windpipe. And you should never be able to feel this unless it's swollen. Now, when the thyroid is swollen, that is called a goiter. So how your thyroid functions is it's a gland and it produces two main hormones. One is thyroxine, which is known as T4, and the other one is triiodothyronine, which is T3, triiodothyronine, T3. T4 and T3 circulate in your bloodstream, and these are chemical messengers. They're hormones, chemical messengers that help regulate your metabolic rate. Now, what does that mean? This means it dictates how fast fats and carbohydrates are used for fuel. The thyroid also regulates things such as body weight, things as like muscle strength, menstrual cycles for women, also regulates your body temperature and influences your heart rate. And it also monitors the production of proteins, which are the building blocks of the human body. Now, the thyroid gland also produces something that's called calcitonin, which is a hormone that helps regulate the amount of calcium in the blood. Now, why is that important? Because you need calcium in the blood for normal function of organs, cells, muscles, and nerves. Very important. So some staggering statistics about thyroid dysfunction is that women are 7 times more likely than men to develop a thyroid disease. 1 in 8 women will develop a thyroid disease, and more than 20 million people have been diagnosed with thyroid disease. The American Thyroid Association estimates 60% of people are unaware of their thyroid imbalances. And additionally, subclinical thyroid imbalances are even more prevalent than the disease state. Now, what are some signs of hypothyroidism, which is too little thyroid production? Could be trouble sleeping, could be tiredness and fatigue, which is one of the big and most common ones. Difficulty concentrating, so there's that memory part. Dry skin, dry hair, depression, sensitivity to cold temperatures, so cold fingers, cold toes, frequent heavy periods for women, possible infertility for both men and women, joint and muscle pain and aches, high cholesterol, hoarseness of voice, inability to lose weight, low stamina, low energy, and low libido. Now, contrary to hypothyroidism, there is hyperthyroidism, which is too much thyroid production, and that could look like things like anxiety, irritability or moodiness, nervousness, hyperactivity, sweating, sensitivity to high temperatures, hands trembling or shaking, hair loss, and missed or light menstrual periods. Now, today we're going to be focusing mainly on low thyroid. So what I'm about to share may come as a surprise about thyroid dysfunction. It's not the thyroid as conventional medicine would lead you to believe. And if you look up, conventional medicine, if you do like a Google search on low thyroid, it may tell you that the most useful marker of thyroid gland function is serum thyroid stimulating hormone levels, which is TSH serum levels. Now, if you go to the doctor with any of those symptoms and they run your blood work, they're just looking at TSH. Let's dive into a little bit of deeper biology here with a lesson about some of those other hormones that I spoke about earlier in the program. So we know that TSH is thyroid stimulating hormone. This is not produced by the thyroid. This is actually produced in the brain by the pituitary gland. And the thyroid stimulating hormone acts on the thyroid gland to stimulate the production of the thyroid hormones produced by the thyroid, T4 and T3, as we covered earlier. So why is your doctor not testing this? So let's talk about what about that T4, this thyroxine. This is the predominant hormone produced by the thyroid gland. And then T4 is converted to its active form, its usable form, T3, within the cells of the body. Now, you may have heard a very popular doctor who's gotten lots of attention on social media about Hashimoto's being a cellular membrane problem. That's not entirely true either, and I'll explain why in a moment. So your total T4, your thyroxine, total T4 includes both free T4 and protein-bound T4, and it's an indicator of the thyroid gland's ability to synthesize, process, and release T4 into the bloodstream. So it's kind of an important marker. Now, free T3, that's that triiodothyronine, that is T3 is the active thyroid form that regulates the metabolic activity of the cells. Now, next we have TPO, which is thyroid peroxidase. It's an enzyme involved in thyroid hormone production. The body produces antibodies, including TPO antibodies, that actually attack the thyroid gland in autoimmune thyroiditis and Hashimoto's. Now, testing TPO antibody levels can help to determine these conditions. Yet, typically in conventional blood work, they're not looking for TPO antibodies. Very, very important marker. And then we have something called TGBN, which is thyroglobulin. This is a protein that's rich in tyrosine, and the residues of which, when bound to iodine, iodine's very important for the thyroid, mind you, they become the building blocks of T3 and T4. If iodine levels are low, then thyroglobulin accumulates, and thus high levels indicate insufficient iodine for healthy thyroid function. Now, I could go deeper into the iodine and thyroid connection and some other nutrients that can support iodine and some other nutrients that actually mimic iodine and squelch the production of T3 and T4. But we'll do that in either another podcast episode, or what I'd like to do is develop a course that would help to educate on a little bit deeper on what we're diving into today, because I can only fit so much in a 20-minute podcast episode. So, our standard disclaimer here: this is not medical advice. It's not a means of treatment, a diagnosis, or a cure for, any chronic illnesses or disease. But we're going to get into how I know what the root cause of the problem is here. And here's why thyroid disease is not a cellular problem. According to what we see in our private functional medicine practice, there are many possible underlying root causes of inactive thyroid function or hypothyroidism. So some of the common causes are, as we mentioned earlier, autoimmune disease. This is when the immune system mistakenly attacks the thyroid gland, reducing its ability to produce thyroid hormones. Next is endocrine disruptors. These are chemicals that interfere with the normal functioning of the endocrine system, which regulates hormones. So some examples of endocrine disruptors, you might be wondering, what are these? Bisphenol A is a very common one. That's BPA. And we covered some of these in, I believe, last week's episode as well. Also, phthalates and flame retardants. These chemicals can affect the thyroid gland and the transport of the thyroid hormones in the blood. Now, believe it or not, medications can actually be an underlying root cause of thyroid dysfunction. Yes, that's right. Some medications can cause hypothyroidism by affecting the synthesis, the conversion, or metabolism of thyroid hormones. And some examples of these are lithium or aminodiarone, what else? Interferon alpha, tyrosine kinase inhibitors, and glucocorticoids such as prednisone or hydrocortisone. Those things can actually disrupt the thyroid as well. Thyroid hormone conversion problems is when the body cannot properly convert the inactive form of thyroid, which is T4, to the active form T3. And then this can result in low levels of T3 and high levels of T4 in the blood. And again, why does conventional medicine not test for these things? Some factors that can impair thyroid hormone conversion are inflammation, I should say unhealthy levels of inflammation, high cortisol levels, which we're going to talk about next, and nutrient deficiencies, which we kind of already touched upon when we mentioned iodine. And then, of course, intestinal permeability, known as leaky gut or gut dysbiosis. So last here is high cortisol levels. This is stress. And, redefining stress, as we like to do in the Breaking Boundaries podcast, stress is not just relationships, children, finances, and career. It's also things that tax the body and the central nervous system, such as parasites, such as mold, yeast, fungal, bacteria overgrowth, heavy metal toxicities, pesticides and herbicides, and things like glyphosate. And mineral deficiencies is definitely something that can cause stress in the body. And what this does is it disrupts the HPA and HPT axis. This is the hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenal axis, and the hypothalamus, pituitary, thyroid axis, which most medical doctors are not talking about, is that HPT axis. And this stops the TSH production. We talked about the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland. Well, that TSH is produced in the pituitary gland. So if the adrenals are shutting down the hypothalamus, that's shutting down the pituitary gland, then it's not giving the proper signal to the thyroid, and it's stopping the T4 and T3 production, causing systemic metabolic dysfunction, as we talked about in that vast list of symptoms at the top of the program. So these are some of the common upstream causes of inactive thyroid function, according to functional medicine. Now, mind you, each person's case may be a little bit different and require a personalized approach to pinpoint and course correct. This is why it's important, so important, I can't stress this enough, to consult with a qualified functional medicine practitioner, such as a IHP level 2, an integrative health practitioner level 2, if you suspect that you have a thyroid problem. So what's the plan? Well, first, how is this a business boundary? Let me ask you something. How can you be a world-class entrepreneur with no energy and memory issues? It's just not possible. Imagine life without that problem, though. Being mentally sharp, being highly motivated again, energetically brilliant, and happy with how you feel. In a moment, you're about to discover how to break that boundary. As always, we love to give you a really easy plan and call to action in the Breaking Boundaries podcast. And step number 1 is a simple test. Now, I highly recommend for, some of these issues running the Big 5 at-home functional medicine health test bundle. Or if you were just going to do one test, one lab test, that's functional medicine based, it would be the stress, mood, and metabolism at-home health test. Now, that's included in the Big 5 bundle, along with some other ones that will help to pinpoint those underlying root causes that we mentioned. And you can run these with any local naturopathic doctor, like I said, any integrative health practitioner level 2, or with yours truly at our private wellness practice, Love Energy Wellness. And then what happens? Then you get a wellness plan that is bio-individualized for you or for your loved one, that is clinically proven, that is science-backed, that is completely safe, and it's all natural. And the best part is that it's guaranteed. And then the third part is you can be back into your energy in just 12 to 16 weeks is honestly how long it takes. So many people have been struggling with thyroid issues and metabolic dysfunction for months, for years, even decades. And honestly, it really only takes about 12 to 16 weeks. And the way I look at it is, the next 4 months are going to go by regardless. It would be amazing to have the results that you've been looking for that long, would it not? So we're here, as always, to help you avoid failure. And, a lifetime of medications that contribute to the problem is not the right approach, in my professional and personal opinion. However, your success story can look as easy as removing those toxicities, as replacing those deficiencies, and rebalancing your body in just a few months. So your key takeaways today in this episode of Breaking Boundaries is that a thyroid problem is not actually a thyroid problem. There's always an underlying root cause, a reason why things are not happening in the body and following that natural path, that natural course. And last but not least, we have built the bridge from where you are now to where you want to be on your health journey. I'm grateful for you joining me here today on the Breaking Boundaries podcast. Please share, if you haven't already, share your favorite episode with somebody that you love, and get over to your favorite podcast platform, wherever you're listening right now as the show's coming to an end, and just take a minute and leave a review so that we can help more people. And I'd appreciate that so much. I'm grateful for you listening. We'll see you next time to help you with breaking boundaries. Bye-bye, everybody. Before we say goodbye, you may not have realized it, but you can get free daily access to our thriving Love Energy Wellness community and support group where you'll join health-conscious entrepreneurs just like you. I know you're concerned about your health, energy, and performance. That's why I personally answer your questions daily, invite you to our weekly live calls, and share pro-wellness tips for energy and performance and exclusive offers just for our community members. This is also your support hub when we gather every 90 days for a total body and mind reset, also known as the world-renowned Dr. Cabral Functional Medicine Detox Protocol. You're going to love the way you feel every time. So if you're the kind of entrepreneur that values your health as your greatest asset, naturally you'll want to join and invite your friends, your family, and your colleagues to our community where you'll feel loved, supported, seen, and heard. Visit loveenergywellness.com to join the community, or the link is also right here in today's show notes. I'll see you soon.